So we're still with the dog database, and we are going to look at an SQL query to retrieve some information. So these type of queries just fetch information from the database, and they always look like this: select from where, and usually, not always, order by. So we can write those things down if we want to for a start, so that we don't forget what order we're going to do things in. So the first thing we're going to look at is what data we're going to get. So it wants us to get the dog ID and the names. So that's what we're showing, data that we're showing. So select dog ID and name. And then where are we getting this information from? Well, the dog ID and the names we're getting from the dog table. So we're going to write that down from the dog table. But we also want to know when these dogs are to be walked and what time of day it is. And they're coming from this table, the jobs table. This is the jobs table. And it's the task and the time of day that we want to access on that. So we do need to put down the jobs table as well. So now we come to the where clause. So where narrows down the data. So if we just did this, it would show us every single dog and every single task and times every single dog. So we'd get a lot of data and not the data we were looking for. So the where clause narrows down the data. So first of all, we want to look at the task, which is walked. So where task equals walk, and we're getting that from the table here. Walk is the type of job, and we want to know when they're walked, time of day. So time of day equals morning. And we've done some selecting there and narrowing down of the data, but now we need to join the tables so that we only get dogs that are in the dog table and linked to these dogs that are in the jobs table. So with the way we do that, we say, and I'm going to go on to the next line here, dog ID, and that's the dog table, equals jobs dot dog ID. So what we're doing there is linking these tables together so that we're finding dogs that have got ID 1 and ID 1 here, for example, that are walked in the morning, like this dog that we've got as example data. So we're always going to be looking for the foreign key and primary key linking mechanism, and we're going to use this format every time. So then it says, oh, we want to sort by dog name, so we're just going to order by name. It doesn't tell us whether we want to have that ascending or descending, so we'll just leave it. We won't put anything. It defaults to ascending. In fact, you don't need to put anything in here unless it does say it wants it to descend with the biggest at the top. So we never need to worry about that unless it's the biggest at the top and we want to put DESC in then. But normally we'll just leave it and that will be fine. So here we are, we've finished our query. So we selected the correct data here, dog ID and name, the correct tables. So we've selected the right tables to get that information from. And we've used an and here and an and there. So task is walk and time of day is morning. And also that the dog ID, we've linked the tables here, linked the tables together here. So we've done all of that correctly and we've ordered by name, and we could put a semicolon on the end of that if we wanted. Don't put a semicolon on the end of everything. It doesn't need it. So that's our first query on the dogs table.